Better. Thanks, Craig. New York State Comptroller Tom DiNapoli wants better oversight when it comes to curbing spending for local authorities, utilities and corporations that provide services like water and sewer operations, public housing, and the like. There are nearly 700 local authorities currently operating in New York State. And a new report by the Comptroller shows the 639 of them who operate outside of New York City are reporting $1.5 billion in spending and an additional $18 billion in debt. Now, DiNapoli says he wants to keep these groups in check. For more on this, we bring in our political analyst, New York Post political columnist Fred Dicker. Fred, thanks for joining us. Break this down for us. It sounds like Tom DiNapoli is launching rounds of audits to see what's going on here.
Well, that's right, Cody, and I gave him a lot of credit for it. You know, we've heard for years about how many thousands of local, state and local government agencies exist out there, mainly state creations, but we don't hear too much about these kinds of authorities and agencies that counties create or municipalities create, and there are a lot of them. They employ a lot of people. He's got some interesting figures. If you go online, you can see that in Albany County alone, there are 24 of these employing almost 400 people, and I wouldn't be surprised, cynical that I am, and a lot of them probably got their jobs through political connections. So the idea of the state comptroller coming in, taking a look at this as he's promising, issuing reports and seeking legislation that would give him even more authority over them, it seems to me is a good thing for the people.
It's interesting to me to see that according to DiNapoli, many of these groups operate as non-for-profits called local development corporations, about 279 of these groups, outside of the authority of the comptroller's office to have any sort of control here.
Well, and there have been scandals involving some of them. We hear about local development agencies now and again that give certain grants. They have authority to give tax benefits, and then people from those agencies may benefit. This is a device that's been used for many years, several decades in New York, but it's, as the comptroller says, Cody, it's often done without the kind of oversight that taxpayers would have a right to expect, should expect, and again, I think he deserves credit, Tom DiNapoli, for moving in this direction.
He's going to start some audits. He wants some new legislation. Realistically, do you think Tom DiNapoli is going to get any support from lawmakers on this?
I think he has a chance to. A lot of the legislators are upset about the abuses that occur locally. He needs to get the governor behind it. The governor and DiNapoli aren't the best of friends, but this is the kind of subject that Governor Cuomo himself has talked about, where he's emphasized the multi-layers of government. I think he has claimed we've had about 10,000 layers in New York. Others say it's more like 3,000 or 4,000. The bottom line is, though, I think everybody, or almost everybody, would agree there are too many layers of government. It adds costs that aren't necessary, and to the extent that these legislators can move in a direction that might save them some money that they can use for other things, I think they'd like to do it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what comes out of these audits. Fred, thanks for joining us. Don't forget, you can hear Fred's radio program live from the state capitol every weekday morning from 10 to 11 on Talk 1300 AM.